Hey, Freedom Builders, welcome again to our weekly coaching session. Today is an exciting day because with me, I have another Amazon selling expert, Brian Connolly. How's it going, Brian?
I'm doing great, Rolando. How are you doing?
Great, great. If you don't know Brian, you probably will if you head over to our social account via like Instagram or Facebook page, and you'll see that he hosts our Ask the Expert sessions. So you're with an expert, and you're in good hands. So as always, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and field all the questions that were submitted earlier in the week, and then from there we'll start taking all the live questions. So uh, start firing away those questions. I already see that there's quite a number of questions, so let me go ahead and start looking at those. So it looks like first question comes from Eunice. Eunice asks, "Hi Rolando, how do you deal with a selling product that may be on an overall declining trend? I or an example, how to increase sales if a product trend is dropping? Should I advertise more, drop prices? The product is not seasonal." So it's good that the product's not seasonal because obviously that could be an indication of why the product is not selling. However, you kind of do a combination of everything. You try a little of everything, and I would say not all at once. You know, the first thing you'll want to do is drop the price, see if that helps, and then ultimately, if it's a product that you do want to just get rid of, running PPC might help us bolster it a little bit, but dropping the price should be your starting point. And I don't know if you have anything else that you want to add to that, Brian.
Yeah, so I would also look at your listing itself, and also compare it to your competitors' listings. Maybe they're doing something that a little better than you. Look at your images. If your images are poor, use a professional, obviously, to get new photos taken. Maybe, refresh your infographics and stuff like that. Make sure all your images look great. You can use our tools, obviously, to redo some keyword research. Maybe there's some new keywords in there or some maybe dropped in search volume, and re-optimize your listing. I would definitely start there. And if you're not brand registered, that could be another thing as well that you can look into. There's other advertising opportunities with that, along with A+ content. You can do video ads. You can do the sponsor brand ads. So I would definitely look into something like that. I did write a post on this pretty recently. I think I forget what the name is. If you search through our blog, it'll give you some extra tips on what to do if your product is starting to decline in sales like that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's right. And I failed to mention that Brian posts regularly on our blog. So some excellent articles. I've shared quite a number of them here with you all. So in a moment, I'll dig up the post on dying products and what you can do to either what your options are at this point, right? Awesome. So it looks like Rashna has the next question. Rashna asks, "My product, which is selling very well, is currently out of stock. As a new seller, I had ordered 200 units just to try it out. I closed the listing, and now 4 sellers have started selling on my listing as fulfilled by merchant. I decided to package the product for next inventory order, but till that time, my inventory will reach warehouse. Many people might have tagged on to my listing. Do you think I will be able to get sales with so many FBM sellers already on my listing, or it will just be a battle of prices?" There's a second part to that question. Let's see. So we'll answer this first section of do you think will I be able to get sales with so many FBM sellers already? So for if you are in this case, it sounds like it might be a product that is not specifically like a private label product. In that case, this is a form of what we would call like retail arbitrage or wholesaling. These are different methods of sellers. So it's a shared listing. In that case, what's going to happen is you have a lot of factors that go into how you can win the buy box definitely price being one of them, but also if you are fulfilled by merchant or FBA, you can there FBM. There's a lot of criteria that you need to meet, right? Like your delivery times, customer satisfaction, all that. All of those features go into winning the buy box to give the best user experience to the buyer. So if you're doing FBA, in other words, shipping in the product, and you'll have like a leg up against these sellers that are doing FBM. So yes, you can get sales. However, it is a competition, right? It is that listing is going to be a competitive listing.
Right. Yeah. It sounds like like you said, Rolando, you're just selling a generic product that you found on Alibaba. I'm guessing no branding, no packaging or anything like that. Yeah. I mean, if you want to continue to sell that generic product, yeah, you can go the FBA route and compete with other sellers. If you did sell 200 units that quickly, that's awesome. I think you should then try to brand the product then, make it unique to you. So that way no other sellers can, list on that particular listing that you create. And if they do, you'll have an easier time to get them off since they won't have your specific brand on their product or packaging.
Awesome. I'll let you handle this question. So the second part of the question, she's asking also, do you think I should remove images from my closed listing and just put an average item till my listing is active again? Can we remove the main image and listing will then suppress? When I start having stock available, add the main image back. I'm thinking this would deter the people from hopping on my listing. You happen to have any answer to that?
I mean, like I said, I would focus on branding, and at this point, I would create a new listing for your specific brand, unless you already have one on this listing. Yeah, that's a tough question, because when there's other sellers on that listing, at that point, I don't think, even if you remove the image from the back end in Seller Central, I do not think it will actually remove it from the listing because there's other sellers on there. I'm not 100% sure on that. It may, because you were the one who created the listing in the first place. But if you're just going to put a more average image, and then it might not exactly match whatever that product is. So I wouldn't recommend doing anything fishy like that.
All right. Roshan has the next question. In fact, quite a few questions. So that's good. That's what we're here for. You have an hour of our attention. We're going to answer all the questions that we can within this time frame. So Roshan asks, please explain MCF, which is multi-channel fulfillment. And so essentially it's multi-channel is that you're able to fulfill products through, say, your third party logistics company, and in that channel, they're fulfilling it within the same time frame as almost Amazon would through Amazon Prime. If my understanding is correct, that's basically what multi-channel fulfillment does. And yeah, so the delivery times typically would be like 1 business day or 2 business days expedited. So it's just it's the type of delivery that you are executing on a product through a third party versus directly through Amazon.
Yeah, and also you can have Amazon fulfill your orders for other marketplaces, and like Amazon has on their help page, Shopify specifically, you can integrate. And once you have your Shopify store set up, you can integrate it with Amazon. And if somebody places an order on your website, Amazon can fulfill that order for you.
Yeah, it's a really neat feature to have if, say, for example, you are expanding your business. Typically, when you're just starting out, it really doesn't apply directly if you're going the FBA model. But as you're growing your e-commerce sales, you might venture into Shopify, for example, and and orders can be placed on Shopify and fulfilled through Amazon. So it kind of goes both ways. It could be a third-party logistics company, or it could be, directly from Amazon. In fact, actually, I think I got that. I completely blew that one, Brian. It is fulfilled by Amazon. However, I was thinking about a different model where actually third-party logistics companies have almost like that prime,
Right.
yeah, prime shipping. So, so I totally, yeah, I didn't mean to mix the two. Let's see. Rashna has the next question. Hello, everyone. So I bought two UPCs from a GS1 website for my two products for $30 each. While buying on GS1 website for one product, I added a brand name X and got UPC 123 for that. For another product, I added a brand name Y and bought UPC 456. I listed my product on Amazon and they are currently active. Can the brand name be changed to X for both my products from GS1 site? So both UPC 123 and UPC 456 will have brand name X. I want to take trademarking and brand registry for brand X under brand X. I want to sell all my Amazon products. Alternatively, can I change my brand name Y to X only in Seller Central, even though UPC 456 is associated with brand name Y? You can, on the GS1 site, you can change names. However, on Amazon, once a listing is created, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, with a specific GS1 code, then it's going to, that component you cannot change. So it sounds like what you'll have to do is kind of start like from square one with the secondary product. But that's, I'm not 100% on that. Do you happen to have any additional insight, Brian?
Yeah, that sounds correct. And once you enter in a brand name on your listing on Amazon, it's very difficult to change that brand name. So it's important to, get that right from the get-go, just so you avoid any issues with Amazon or GS1.
Yeah, that's one of those things where Amazon really, with UPCs, like you really can't alter, you can't change, and no matter how much you fight it, they just won't budge on that. So my recommendation is to consolidate. Probably might need to just start from square one and do this all and brand, or continue to use the one brand that you have in mind. It sounds like you just wanted to consolidate, create variants within that listing. And alternatively, if it's a different product altogether, then you just have to create a new listing for that product with the brand that you're looking to trademark. All right. So Rashna has the next question. I bought a single UPC from GS1 for $30. Does it expire? They don't expire in the sense of you have that number, that barcode for life. However, you do need to renew it annually in order for it to be active, because it could essentially, after it expires, it's just it's like a dead barcode. So definitely keep in mind to renew. I believe to renew, if I'm not mistaken, like $50 to renew, but that was when. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off, Orlando. I was just looking at the GS1 website for the single use code.
Okay.
Which is just the $30, which is what he's talking about. And it does say there is no annual renewal fee for the single use code. So
that's actually a bonus, because when this is a new feature where you could probably just within the year, having the one that you could just buy one barcode was implemented. Before, you had to buy them in batches of, I think it was like 10 like the starting point, and there was an annual renewal fee of $50 for that batch of UPCs, which is why I was a little hesitant on, like, I don't know if it's going to be $50 for the single barcode, but you nailed it. There isn't. So it's really advantageous to use the single barcode to buy it, to purchase that. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely.
All right. And then Rashna has a next question. Can we send an extra fee, an extra free thing in our product packaging, even though it is not advertised in the listing or images? You can. I don't see why you wouldn't want to feature it unless it's something completely like off the mark. But because of course it's one way to put you, to just differentiate yourself. So my recommendation would be to definitely add that on the listing, to add that additional bonus feature or whatever that might be.
Yeah. I'll add a little bit to that as well. On another recent post I've written, or article I've written, called How to Delight Your Customers on Amazon, one of my suggestion was to do something similar to that, add something extra in your packaging, nothing major, but just something that will, surprise your customer once they receive it and open up the box. Like, oh, wow, they included this little extra thing. My recommendations were maybe, you throw in a sticker in there, or a keychain, or, if you're selling a tumbler and you want to include a straw with it, or something like that, where, the customer will be like, oh, this is really great. This brand really cares, and they're providing me with just a little bit extra. So you could go either way, maybe test it out, write it on your listing, say it also includes so-and-so. Or if you want to if your listing is already selling well and you want to just throw a little something extra in there and maybe see how customers react, you can do that as well.
Awesome. And you reminded me, I'm dropping in the comments a link to what to do if your product is dying.
Great.
I don't know if this is the blog post you wrote. I know this is probably like an older post. I'll have to find the one that you wrote. So there'll be a couple of articles there, Rashna, for you to.
Yeah, I'll try to find the one.
All right.
That actually would be it.
That one, and the one you just mentioned about adding bonus products. That'd be cool.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's see here. So it looks like Angela has the next question. Angela asks, my product was listed in Canada using my brand name, photos, copy, text, etc. I sent a message to the seller through Amazon's messaging service saying they were not authorized to sell my product and asking them to stop doing so within 24 hours, or I would contact Amazon. I then waited 4 days before submitting a complaint to Amazon, and Amazon immediately removed the listing. Then 15 hours after I submitted my complaint to Amazon, the company sent me an email apologizing and asking me to retract my complaint with Amazon. I feel that I asked them nicely and gave them a lot of notice before I submitted a complaint to Amazon, and they ignored me. What would you suggest I do? I have since listed my product in Canada. It sounds like you did the right thing. Unfortunately, they did not have the right to sell your product or use your images or any of that. So they were in violation of Amazon's terms of service. So you're saying if they were asking if you could retract? Let's see.
At that point, I don't even know if you can retract your complaint from Amazon. Once it's submitted and in there, and Amazon takes action, they're most likely not going to go back on that decision. Especially it sounds like this person was selling a counterfeit of your product or was just stealing your images. I'm not sure of the entire situation here, but yeah, you gave them warning, gave them 4 days to respond to you. So, unfortunately that's going to be on them.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's sometimes business can be cutthroat, but they should have never done that to begin with. So yeah, I think that going forward, I guess maybe just if you want, give a little more time, give like about a week. But other than that, there's there's not a whole lot that you can do. And you did the right thing, so I don't want you to feel guilty about it. So Angela asked in the next question, is there a report I can run that shows the tacos? And there isn't, as far as I know. I believe if you're using downstream impact, you can, but not with Amazon PPC unless we don't have anything available on Jungle Scout, or because we could just pull that data in to Jungle Scout, but we are not able to. So let's see but I do believe downstream impact can. Let's see. There's a lot of acronyms that are always tossed out there. And so basically you have ACoS, your advertising cost of sales, and then you have tacos, not the food tacos, total advertising cost of sales. But unfortunately, Angela, no, there isn't. I was just kind of trying to take a peek if in Jungle Scout there is anything anywhere that you can download that, and unfortunately there isn't. All right, Angela asks the next question here. At the moment, all my returns are sent back to Amazon. I am thinking about using a third party to manage my returns and check them before returning them to inventory. If I have all Amazon returns sent to them by customers, do I have to pay the shipping fees? So I'll let you tackle that one, Brian. See, at the moment, all my returns are sent back to Amazon. I'm thinking about using a third party to manage my returns and check them before returning them to inventory. If I have all Amazon returns sent to them by customers, do I have to pay the shipping fees?
You should just be able to change your return address in Seller Central. And the returns would be handled the same way they are when using FBA. I would have to look into that a little bit more for you because I'm not 100% certain on that, but I can definitely look into it and get back to you on that. Personally, I'll go back to this thread and let you know what I find here.
Cool. Sounds good. Looks like Sunny has the next question. What is the best way to prevent hijackers besides getting a trademark / brand registry? Thank you. To be honest, I think that there's different levels of your listing being hijacked, and I think oftentimes the more common one seen is that someone may have purchased your product at a discount. Maybe you were offering a coupon and they bought it at a discount and they're reselling it at a higher price. And to be honest, and that's the most common. So essentially, it's nothing to be alarmed by. Like I know, like we'd see like another seller on there, and we're like, oh, they've hijacked my listing. They probably have one or two items. They're eventually gonna sell those and be on their way and try to find another discount product. But, they're just doing Amazon as like retail arbitrage. Alternative list, your listing is hijacked. One thing that really helps is definitely not going out of stock. Keeping inventory. That's oftentimes when it happens is you're listing and you don't close the listing and it's still active and open, so someone could jump on there and sell the product. So definitely that would be like priority number one, inventory. Trying to think if there's anything else. Obviously, brand registry is the first step. But it sounds like you already know that. And there is, I've never used the program, but there is a fraud protection program that Amazon Brand Registry offers, and I'll pull up a link to the page itself. But basically, what they do is they provide you a specific QR code that you place on your product, And if say someone is not, it does not have, if someone sells a product that's obviously not your product, they can immediately jump on it and get that corrected. So that would probably be your best bet as well. So I'll look it up right now and see what, just like the sales page of what it is and what they offer. But cool.
Yeah, I think those are all great tips. You can, it's tough to always prevent it. Like Rolando said, there might be somebody who hops on, maybe they have one or two, and that's it. You can go the route that Angela did and report the seller if you have concerns of counterfeiting or anything like that. You can place a test order with that seller, if it seems like they have a lot of inventory available, just to make sure that it's not your product, or if it is your product, that would be another way to get rid of them if they were to hop onto your listing.
I'm trying to remember the name of that program. Almost, I think I want to say like transparency or something, but
oh yeah, yes, the transparency program.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, we do also have an article on that as well, and it is for sellers enrolled in brand registry.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So I'm going to drop a link to that so that you can look it over. This is definitely one way to prevent counterfeits and so on. So let me go ahead and drop that in the comments. I got a good little link there with a good description.
There you go.
Awesome. Cool. And let's see if we got through the threads. We got through the thread for the previously submitted questions. Let's see if any other questions have popped up. Doesn't look like it. So I guess in the meantime, we'll do a little karaoke. What do you say, Brian? Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, it looks like no new questions. Wow. It's a light day today. Usually we running out of time to get to the questions.
Yeah. So I guess what I'll say here is if you didn't get a chance to ask your question here, we're doing a Ask the Expert right now on Instagram. So if you go to the Jungle Scout Instagram account and go to the story, you could submit questions and I could get to them tomorrow. I'll answer them through video and you can see them there.
Yeah, awesome. So what do you got in the works right now, Brian, in terms of what's the next golden nugget you'll be dropping? If you haven't, you really got to go in and you got to read Brian's blog posts. They're phenomenal. And always touching on the current topics, latest things that you need to do for your business. And so, yeah, what's the current thing you got working on?
Yeah, right now I'm working on a new brand registry tool called Manage Your Customer Engagement. It basically allows sellers who have their own storefront, Amazon storefront, with followers to send out email campaigns to those followers. So, I mean, obviously everybody knows by now that Amazon has very strict communication guidelines. You can only send one email now. You're not allowed to send any promotional emails, anything like that. But with this tool, you will be able to. Again, it's only for brand registered sellers. Another reason why you should be enrolling in brand registry. Amazon is really trying to go that route and focusing on brands versus just resellers. There's a lot of benefits to enrolling in that, and so this tool seems pretty cool. It still seems like it's in the new early stages of it. So there's really not a ton of information on it, but you will be able to create email campaigns to promote newly launched products to customers who have purchased from you in the past and who actually follow your brand on Amazon. So that's a pretty cool tool that's coming out.
Yeah, that's actually that's amazing, because now you could have you're basically building a true business, right? With a new product launch, anything, you could always promote it there. So that's going to be a game changer, I believe. Just that one element, because a lot of the times the challenge as an Amazon seller, right, is you can't build the list. However, now you'll have that opportunity to, in a way, even though you don't have access to the list, you'll be able to remarket to them and show your sales.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Cool. Yeah, looks like we're at the end of it, Brian.
All right. Light today.
Yeah, it was a light day today. It's been awesome having you, Brian, and your knowledge, your wisdom. I look forward to hopefully someday in the future having you back again.
Yeah. Sure.
And yeah, we'll keep crushing it, Freedom Builders. That essentially is the end of today's session, and we'll see you guys next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. See you then.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Rolando.